So we got our Swordward and Shieldbird. You force your opponent to choose either to let you choose a trainer card and put it into your hand, or to draw 3 cards. And we got our next mustard. We got a single strike Urshifu VMax. Perfect, that's the card I want. And we got another Colossal Cold Cannon. I don't like that Colossal because it's stage 2. But it does a lot of damage though. 90x damage. And we got a Tyranitar, a full art Tyranitar. We got a not a Berserker. I can't remember what that cat's name. Perugly, right? Perugly has the attack that does 120 damage. Our first shiny card. So Artillery, Rapid Strike Style Search Artillery with the shiny effect, the shiny art. So another Mian Shao. Shuffle your deck into this card and all cards attached to it into your deck for 2 energy cost, and it does 90 damage, and it confuses your opponent's active Pokemon. So confusing it is actually an extra effect, because the old Mian Shao has kind of the same attack, but it puts you do a lot of damage for 2 energies, and you put that card back into your hand along with all cards attached to it. So it's kind of a different thing, but it has an added effect. It's kind of the same style, but it has an added effect of confusing your opponent's active Pokemon. So Mian Shao is actually quite a strategic card. So Rapid Strike style cards are very strategic. They always have something, a special effect, you know, like the Swirling Slice Empoleon V card. It has the special effect that allows you to put 1 energy attached to your Empoleon onto any of your bench Pokemon. So it's like a Power Cyclone effect. Hello everybody, welcome back to Beware the Terrible. So today we're going to be opening some new packs from the new Battle Styles expansion. So let's go ahead and open some. So I bought some with my coins. As you can see, only 44 are tradable, but I bought the rest with my Pokemon TCG online coins. So I saved up a lot from the versus ladder, and then I bought them from the store over here. As you can see, my cursor is pointed at the store section. You can just purchase them for 200 coins per pack. So if you haven't found out about that, then you can just purchase it easily. So let's go ahead and open some. Our first pack, let's hope we get some good Vs and VMAXs. So we got a Mankey and a single strike energy. That's really good. And we got a Kingdra Deep Sea King ability. Really nice. Aqua Burst does a lot. Does 40 damage for each water energy. And you have the Wishful Baton ability. We talked about this during the review, the set review. If you haven't checked that out, check out the playlist, PTCGO playlist in my channel. And we have the set review video in one of those on our last video. So check out our last video for the set review. We talked about Kingdra, we talked about a few single strike Pokemons. Primeape is a really good card, and if you pair that with your single strike energy, Primeape can do a lot of damage. So we have a lot of other single strike cards as well. We have Ambor, Houndoom, so let's hope we get a lot of single strike. I prefer single strike compared to Rapid Strike. It is just a preference. None is better than the other. It's just a different flavor. But for personal preference wise, I prefer single strike because it does a lot of damage. But you do have to think about how do you charge those Pokemons though. So we got a Carnivine, we got a Ball Juggling card, we got a Lickilicky with a Select. Select is pretty cool because it forces your opponent to choose either to discard the top 3 cards of their deck or to discard 3 cards from their hand. So that's a pretty cool attack if you ask me. And we got a Derisive Roasting as well. That's not bad. A Tool Jammer. No Vs yet. So we got Energy Recycler. Energy Recycler, obviously you have them from other expansions, the old expansions. They are reintroducing it into the game. Escape Rope as well. So it's not really that we got an Evil Mancy, that's really good. So you get to search your deck for a stage 2 Pokemon and put them onto your bench. We got a Stance Change, IG Slash as well. That's not bad. So Evil Mancy, same as the Lifesplosion from our old Cradley card, the old Fossil card. Cold Cannon is not bad because it does 90x damage. Flip a coin for each energy attached to your Colossal. And we even got a Mustard as well, single strike style Mustard. Indeedee with the hand kinesis, and we got our first Primeape. That's really good. So let's hope we get some Vs and VMAXs, because you can't really win without a V and VMAX. We got another Primeape. That's really nice. I'm really looking forward to making a good single strike deck with that Primeape, because we got a single strike energy and we got our first V, Urshifu V Rapid Strike. Rapid Strike is, I prefer single strike, but oh well, Rapid Strike's just a different flavor. We got another Carnivine Rapid Strike, and we got a Mienfoo Rapid Strike. We got a Cheryl Full Art. Sorry about that. Full Art Cheryl. So some spots have there are some weird spots in this software where if I click the right spot, they just go out to the window section. Sorry about that. So Entei, and we got a Sandaconda. We got another single strike energy and a level ball as well. Sandaconda, Big Sand Cannon, really strong attack. And we got a a Gold Bat with ability allowing you to draw 2 cards as you evolve it. We got a Rapid Strike style. What's the word? I can't remember. Remoraid Octillery. We got a Rapid Strike style energy, and we got another Urshifu V Rapid Strike. Got a full art one. Really good. Like, the art is really good. So we got another Rapid Strike style energy. Another, what's that called again? Phalanx Rapid Strike style. Got a single strike Pignite. Sorry, Tepig. And we got a Flapple VMax, our first Flapple. Our first VMax. And we got a Korrina's Focus. Korrina's Focus works the same as Lily, the old Lily card. Draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand. Not bad. But you don't get to use Lily though. It does have the same effect, but you can't have Lilies in your standard decks. So no Lilies allowed, but you can use Korrina's Focus for the same effect. So we got our Swordward and Shieldbird. You force your opponent to choose either to let you choose a trainer card and put it into your hand, or to draw 3 cards. And we got our next mustard. We got a single strike Urshifu VMax. Perfect. That's the card I want. That is like the best card ever, because the effect of the attack Gmax 1 blow allows you to do a lot of damage, and you ignore all effects of your opponent's active Pokemon So it does like a raw damage of 270 plus all of the other cards that you get to boost its damage. So Urshifu VMax single strike is like really powerful, but you have to discard all energy from it after you use that attack. So you're gonna think about recharging it with 4 energies. So that's the difficult part. Battle armor, 30 less damage. Boomerang, flip 2 coins, 90. Not bad. And we got a few more Pekos as well. The dark type Morpeko, the hungry Morpeko, always hungry. And we got another Colossal Cold Cannon. I don't like that Colossal because it's stage 2, but it does a lot of damage though. 90x damage. And we got a Tyranitar, a full art Tyranitar. Sorry about that. It's a bit difficult to click when it just zooms in on its own sometimes. Our third Phalanx and our second Swordward and Shieldbird. We got a Seadra, and we got our Urshifu V single strike. Yes! But we only got 1 of each though. We need like 3 or 4 to make a good deck out of them. But I'm happy that I got 1 at least. We got a lot of single strike energies. That's really good. I think we got 3 already of the Rapid Strike energy. Somehow Rapid Strike just comes up more easily than single strike. So we got a few of this one as well. Single strike tool card allowing you to do that attack. I think 10 damage for each damage counter on your Pokemon. On your single strike Pokemon, because it only works for single strike. We got our first Phoebe. Phoebe allows you to ignore all effects on your opponent's active Pokemon for all of your VMAX attacks. And that's our 4th single strike, so our last one. So we don't need any more single strike energies. If they show up, if any more shows up, then it's extra. So we get to trade them for other cards. But as I said, I have 60 locked packs, meaning I purchased them from the store, meaning they are not tradable, meaning that one is not tradable. So I'm actually opening locked pack first. So I still have 30 more locked packs to go. It is 100 packs. I have like 60 locked packs. We got a Mr. Rhyme there. And 44 unlocked ones. So 44 tradable and 60 non-tradable. Got a lot of Licky Lickies. We could actually make a good Licky Licky deck. A mill deck or a hand control deck. A few Galarian Slowbros as well. Mawile single strike. A fan of waves, not bad. Bolton, we got a few Bolton as well. So Bolton has a 3 energy attack cost, allowing you to do 130 damage, but that attack becomes only 1 energy cost if you have any damage counter on your Bolton. So we got our second, we got a few Cheryls there, and we got our second Flapple VMax. Something wrong there, okay. And we got our first Yamper to match, matching with our Galarian Mr. Rhyme, really good. Second, Salazzle Derisive Roasting. So Salazzle is the new Hex Flame card, allowing you to do 90x damage for each special condition affecting your opponent's active Pokemon. So Spinning Whip allowing you to do 90 damage for 2 energy, meaning you get to attach a Rapid Strike style energy and immediately do 90 damage and confuse your opponent's active Pokemon and shuffle it back into the deck. We got our second Urshifu VMax. Yes! And our second Mustard, single strike style Mustard. That was a single strike style pack card. That was so good. And I think that was our second Stadium card as well. That's our fourth one. Our fourth Phalanx. I don't really like Phalanx because you only have you're only allowed like 6 cards on your battlefield, meaning you're only allowed to add up to 120 damage for 2 energy cost. Not really 2 energy attack cost, not really that strong. 120, but you get to add you get to attach a Rapid Strike style energy, meaning it's basically a twin energy attack cost. So we got a lot of mustards. We got our first Bruno, I think. Bruno is quite a good support card because you shuffle our first Houndoom, Rapid Strike style raw, allow me to search your deck for a Rapid Strike style energy, attach it to one of your Pokemon and put 2 damage counter on that Pokemon. So Bruno allows you to draw, shuffle your hand into your deck, draw out 4 cards, and you draw, instead of 4, you get to draw 7 if one of your Pokemon gets knocked out by one of your opponent's Pokemon. So if there was a knockout, then you draw 7. If there wasn't a knockout, you draw 4. Either way, you shuffle your hand into your deck. So shuffling your hand is actually better because before this we don't have a lot of shuffle cards. We only have items to shuffle our deck. Otherwise we have Marnies, we have Hop, we have Professor's Research. We have a lot of cards that draw from our deck. Clay, Hapu, Roxy, you know, even Cosmic Eclipse. We don't have enough cards that shuffle your hand into the deck and draw out cards, except for Kabu, which only allows you to draw 4 cards. So Kabu is not really good because the effect is if you have only 1 active Pokemon in play, if you only have your active Pokemon in play, then you get to draw out 8, otherwise you only draw 4. Either way, you shuffle your hand into your deck. So we got our second Phoebe, that's good. We got a, I'm not sure what that grass type Pokemon is, but that's pretty good. We got our first Urshifu VMax Rapid Strike style, and it's a rainbow card, full art. I think it's ultra rare. So a lot of stance changes there. Stance change, you get to switch that IG Slash for another IG Slash with the, I can't remember what the ability is called, Big Shield. So Big Shield protects all of your Pokemon from damage by 30. So it reduces damage from by 30 to done to all of your Pokemon. And we got our what's it called, Necrozma V. So Necrozma V has the special laser allowing you to do 220 damage if you have a special energy attached to your Necrozma V, and it is a 3 energy attack cost, same as the the theme expansion. Sorry, the theme deck Necrozma. The Necrozma card from the theme deck has the same attack, but it only does a max of 160 damage. So we got our, I'm not sure if it's our 3rd or 4th or our 5th Salazzle, but we got a lot of Whipping Bells as well. Oh, another Salazzle. That's not good. We got too much Salazzles there. So Whipping Bell has the ability that Dangerous Mucus allows you to place affect your opponent's active Pokemon with burn and poison as you evolve your Whipping Bell. So you gotta think about adding some Devolution Spray Z's if you're playing a Whipping Bell Salazzle combo deck. So we got a second, I think, our second Octillery Rapid Strike Search ability, allowing you to search your deck for a Rapid Strike style card. Shuffle your deck afterwards, but you only get to use that ability once per turn. So Whipping Bell with the Panic Vine attack, allowing you to confuse your active Pokemon, your opponent's active Pokemon, and your opponent can't retreat on the next turn. And Solar Beam, 3 energy for 120. It's not really that powerful, Whipping Victory Bell. I keep calling Victory Bell Whipping Bell. So Stoutland V, double Dip Fangs, allow you to take an extra price card if you knock out your opponent with, if you knock out your opponent's basic Pokemon. So 40 damage is not a lot, but you get to add powerful energies, you get to add other effects, your Pokemon's abilities effects, you get to add Leon, Tool cards, Stadium card, to add damage to that double Dip Fangs, hopefully be able to knock out your opponent's basic Pokemon, because the effect only works if it's a basic Pokemon. And if they have abilities that protect them from effects of attack, if they have a Wash Energy, if they have Big Parasols, I don't think Big Parasol and Wash Energy prevents you from taking an extra price card, because that's not an effect on their Pokemon, that's an effect on you, an effect on the opposing player. That's not an effect on their Pokemon. So they don't get to prevent you from taking an extra price card if they have Big Parasol and if they have a Wash Energy. Even if that's an effect of your attack, because the effect affects you. The effect affects a player, it doesn't affect their Pokemons. So I'm repeating that, but exciting stage, Kricketune allows you to draw cards until you have 3 cards in your hand. And if Kricketune is in your active spot, you get to draw cards until you have 4 cards in your hand, but you only get to use that ability once per turn. Kinda the same as Dark Asset DD Change, you don't get to use a lot of Kricketune's ability. You don't get to use a lot of Kricketune, you don't get to stack that ability per turn. So we got our second Lurantis, Heal Drain, 30 damage and Heal 30 damage, not really that good. It's basically just one of those cards that's just there to fill in the space, I suppose. Haymaker, not bad, 30 for 1 energy, but you don't get to use it the next turn. We got a few Brunos as well, and a few supporter cards from that deck, from that booster pack. Our second Rapid Strike, Mian Shao. Urn of Vitality. Shuffle your... our second Urshifu V, Single Strike. Shuffle 2 Single Strike energy from your discard pile back into your deck with Urn of Vitality. That's really, really strong. So it's like a special charge, except it only works for Single Strike energy. It doesn't work for any other special energy. You don't get to shuffle any other of your special type energies. So Tower of Darkness, discard a Single Strike energy to draw 2 cards. That's crazy. I think, discard a Single Strike card to draw 2 cards. I'm not really sure about that card, the Tower of Darkness, but you get to draw 2 cards if you discard something from your hand. Single Strike something. So Embor, our first Embor, Fighting Fury stance, add 30 damage to all of your Single Strike Pokemon's attacks. That is very, very powerful. You get to stack that ability as well. It's not like Strong Cheer. Strong Cheer, you only get to use that ability once per turn. You don't get to apply more than 1 Strong Cheer to all of your Pokemons. You only get to apply 1 Strong Cheer ability once at a time. One at a time. You don't get to apply more to all of your Pokemon. But Strong Cheer obviously works for non-single strike Pokemon as well, whereas Ambor's Fighting Fury stance only works for single strike Pokemons. So you need to have that single strike label for it to work, but you get to stack it. So once per turn, that player may draw 2 cards, so it works for both players, but that player must discard a single strike card from their hand. So you can discard a single strike trainer card, single strike tool card, single strike Pokemon card, single strike energy card. But you need to discard a single strike card to be able to draw 2 cards. Obviously, don't discard your single strike energy unless you have to, because single strike energy is precious, but you still get to shuffle it back into your deck with your Urn of Vitality if you have to. So it's better to have a few of those cards in your deck so that you get to shuffle it back, because shuffling is really good. So Flapple V Sour Spit, very strong. You get to add your opponent's attack cost by 2 stars, 2 colorless. But it is an effect of attack, meaning they get to switch and remove that effect if they retreat back into the bench spot. Our second Necrozma V, the first attack is Prismatic Ray, so it's kind of the same as Flame Burst. You get to damage both or 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon as well with 20 damage, and attack their active Pokemon with 20 damage as well. Only 1 energy cost. So Bronzong, our first Bronzong Metal Transfer, allowing you to move your energy, any amount of your metal energy in any way you like, from one of your Pokemon to another of your Pokemon. That's very strong in my opinion. Our second Korrina's Focus, we do need Korrina's Focus because it is actually a strong supporter. It's a new supporter card, we need a lot of it. Phoebe, our third or fourth Phoebe, our third or fourth Urn of Vitality as well. I think we're opening tradable packs now, so it's worth noting that these packs are tradable now. I do have to save up my last 6, so my last 6 are, I do want to trade them for other cards because I don't want to open too much. Because if you trade them, you get to choose which card you want, whereas if you open them, you're kind of just relying on luck for those cards that you want to show up. Because I actually have 106 packs, so I'm only opening 100, so I don't need to. We got our first Mimikyu, so I don't need to open the remaining 6 because I want to trade for other cards that I want. So just a note to myself not to open the 6 remaining ones. So Dummy Doll protects Mimikyu for 1 turn from damage from your opponent's attack as you place it onto your bench, meaning your opponent doesn't get to damage Mimikyu if on their next turn, but it only works for 1 turn. And Jealous Eyes is also very strong. 1 energy cost, allowing you to put 3 damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon for each prize card that they have taken. So that is a lot of damage counters, and as I've already said in the review, in the set review, it works really well at the end of the game when the game is about to finish. When both players have very few prize cards remaining, you get to place it onto your bench, protect Mimikyu with Dummy Doll ability for 1 turn, and then still get to place a lot of damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon. Meaning, if they don't have boss order, if Mimikyu V is your only Pokemon in play at the very final stage of the game, then they don't get to damage it. That means you get 2 turns. You get 2 turns of Jealous Eyes attack. So because of its ability, it saves you 1 turn. So that's actually, and 1 turn is actually precious. At the very final stage of the game, 1 turn is precious. You know, even at the beginning of the game is precious, but you know what I mean. One turn is all it takes to win the game. You know, that's very strong if you ask me, because it gives you that extra advantage of protecting your Mimikyu from damage. We got a level ball, and we got another Evil Mancy, I think. We got not a Berserker. I can't remember what that cat's name. Perugly, right? Perugly has the attack that does 120 damage. Our first shiny card. So Artillery, Rapid Strike Style Search Artillery with the shiny effect, the shiny art. So I can't remember what I wanted to say just now. Our second Mimikyu V. Second Mimikyu V and another Carnivine. Alright, Claydol Power Split. I think that was the second card we got on the Mimikyu opening. So Power Split allows you to attach psychic energy cards from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way you like. For each energy on your opponent's Pokemon. So you essentially balance out the energy attached to all of your Pokemon and to your opponent's Pokemon. So evening things out is kind of like a energy split. Rather than power split, is kind of like an energy split where you attach energy from your discard pile to your Pokemon until both players have the same amount of energy attached to all of their Pokemons. So obviously it only works for psychic energy, and it only works if you have as many energy cards in your discard pile, psychic energy cards in your discard pile, as the amount of energy attached to your opponent's Pokemon. So you need to think about discarding those energies, and you need to think about when you need to use this attack, because it only works well if your opponent has a lot of energy cards attached to their Pokemon. If they don't depend on a lot of energies attached to their Pokemon, or if they haven't yet attached those energies, then power split is essentially useless. So you need to think about when you get to use it to make it a good card, to make it a good addition to your deck, and you need to think about how to use it, you know, how it can give you the advantage, how to discard those energy cards into your deck, into your discard pile from your deck. So I think that was our first Pignite. We got a few Tapigs, we got one Embor and one Pignite. We got a lot of Mankeys, a lot of Lickilickies, quite a lot of Mr. Rhymes as well. Ball Juggling. Ball Juggling is the new Mad Party Whimsicott card. So Whimsicott, as I said in the review video, has the attack that allows you to do 40x damage for each tool card that you discard from your Pokemon. Ball Juggling, essentially the same thing. Discard as many ball cards from your hand, do an extra 40 damage for each ball card you discarded in this way, with a base damage of 10. And it also has the matching card Yamper, which allows you to put two ball cards, Great Ball or Pokeball, or one of each of those cards from your discard pile back into your hand as you place Yamper onto your bench. So you get to scoop it up and recycle its ability. So Yamper and Galarian Mr. Rhyme is obviously the obvious pair to the new Ball Juggling meta deck. So a lot of Phoebes, and our third or fourth Dangerous Mucus, and our third or fourth Orbital. Evo Mancy is actually pretty cool, and I'm excited to make a deck from the Orbital, from the new Orbital, because Orbital, we don't have a Psychic Orbital yet, and this is our first Psychic type Orbital. Buzz. Another Rapid Strike style or Octillery. A lot of Electivire, so let's see what it does. Not really that strong. You can't use Lightning Slam the next turn for 4 energies and 180 damage. Maybe they might introduce a lot of lightning cards which allow you to attach energy easily, but we don't have Magnezone, not allowed anymore. Magnezone in the standard in the standard format is not allowed anymore. So the magnetic, I can't remember the ability, but it allows you to freely attach lightning energy from your hand to your Pokemon, to your lightning Pokemon. But that Magnezone is no longer allowed in the standard format. So another Mienshao, shuffle your deck into, shuffle this card and all cards attached to it into your deck for 2 energy cost, and it does 90 damage, and it confuses your opponent's active Pokemon. So confusing it is actually an extra effect, because the old Mienshao has kind of the same attack, but it puts you do a lot of damage for 2 energies, and you put that card back into your hand along with all cards attached to it. So it's kind of a different thing, but it has an added effect. It's kind of the same style, but it has an added effect of confusing your opponent's active Pokemon. So Mienshao is actually quite a strategic card. So Rapid Strike style cards are very strategic. They always have something, a special effect, you know, like the Swirling Slice Empoleon V card. It has the special effect that allows you to put 1 energy attached to your Empoleon onto any of your bench Pokemon. So it's like a Power Cyclone effect, but you get to put transfer your Rapid Strike style energy from your Empoleon V to your Urshifu VMax, and that is a lot. That does a lot, or any of your other bench Rapid Strike style Pokemon, because transferring that Rapid Strike style energy actually does a lot, unless they discard that energy or put it back into your hand or something like that. But Swirling Slice is a good attack is what I'm trying to say. So we got a Tapu Koko VMax back Shock. If you have more prize cards than your opponent, then you get to... Sorry, if you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, then your opponent's active Pokemon is paralyzed. So paralyzing your opponent's active Pokemon if you have more prize cards. For 180 damage and 3 energy attack cost, not really that strong. Because we don't have another single strike Urshifu, that's really good. Because we don't have a lot of cards that charge our lightning type Pokemons. So if lightning type Pokemons have a lot of attack costs, and we don't have Thunder Mountains anymore, we don't have Electro Powers anymore, we do have Tapu Koko, Prism Star, and we do have Electrode with the power generator. I think that's what our first Empoleon V, yes. So I can't remember the ability, but Electrode allows you to knock it out during your turn and attach 2 lightning energies from your deck to one of your Pokemon as you knock it out. So that's what the power generator ability does. Sorry, I'm not articulating really well about the ability, but let's just go on. So Honchkrow, Insomnia ability, it can't go to sleep. And if your opponent has any special energy, Voltage Dive does an extra 80 damage. Not really that strong, but you never know. Certain cards, it might become strong as new cards come out. As with the release of new expansions, they might turn out to be a good card after all. So it's always good to go back. Oh, I think we just opened up all of it. Oh dear. So it's always good to go back to previous expansions and, check out all of those cards as you learn about new cards, because with the release of every expansion, all cards could become strong. They can turn out to be strong in pair with the new cards that just got released. So it's always good to refresh your memory, to look back, have a full look through, have a full review and a full glance over an entire old expansion. For example, Rebel Clash, Darkness Ablaze, Sword and Shield, or even Vivid Voltage. It's good to glance through the whole thing, because you never know which card could be very, very strong in pair with the new cards. With the release of the new cards, you never really know. So obviously it's better to test out the new expansion first, test out all of the new cards, and then experiment with all of the old cards, pair them up, mash them up, mix and fry until you find the right strategy that works for you, and then perfect it, practice it, build it better, go for a lot of gameplays, and then optimize it, make sure you keep perfecting your deck until it becomes a really, really good original deck. Because we want to be making original decks, we want to be giving our own flavor to the game, showing off our personality. That is what makes this game so fun. So that is what we want to be doing. We want to be experimenting as much as we can, so that we find out which deck works best for us and which card we like best. Then we get to mash them up together and then find out the perfect combos, and then after that we get to optimize it. So optimizing actually takes a lot of work, because you need to decide whether to have 2 or 3 or 4 of those of the same card with the same name on the deck. So having 3 Metal Saucers or 4 Metal Saucers in a deck makes a huge difference. And having 3 energy switches or 4 energy switch or even 2 energy switch and 2 tag switch or something like that makes a huge difference. So you need to think about not only the cards that you like and the combos that work really well with that card. You need to think about how good those cards are against the standard decks, against all of those meta decks, against all of the decks that people keep using that are really powerful, like the ADPZ, Blacephalon, Picarom decks. But you also need to think about the deck build, like the specific numbers of cards in those decks, the specific trainer cards, the specific number of energy cards and special energy cards. So every little bit matters, and obviously you can't do everything, you can't perfect everything. There's only so much you can do for the game. There's only so much that you can rely on your skill. So not everything relies on your skill. Obviously there is an element of luck to it. You do have to flip coins, you do have to rely on random chance for certain cards to turn up onto your hand. But we want to be reducing the element of luck as much as possible. That is why we optimize our deck. But there's only so much you can do. You can reduce it. There's only a limit to which you can reduce the element of luck on which your deck is relying. So that's all for this video. I don't want to go on too long. We did pull some really good cards from those 100 packs. So we got Mimikyu Vs, we got Flapple VMaxes, we got Urshifu VMaxes. Really happy with Urshifu. We got Tyranitar V, only one Tyranitar, one Empoleon V, and one Stoutland V. We got a Tapu Koko VMax as well, but I was really looking forward for a Tapu Koko V. That's one of the best V cards in my opinion, because it has the Spiral Thunder attack, allowing you to do 40 extra damage with a base damage of 20 or 30, I can't remember, but an extra 40 damage for each energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. That is a lot. If they attach a lot of energies on their Pokemons, then you get to do a lot of damage. But it's 3 energy cost, it's quite a lot. But it's lightning type, meaning you get to use Electrode's generator. I can't remember what that ability is called, but it's something generator where you knock that Electrode out and search your deck for 2 lightning energies and attach them to any one of your Pokemon. But you have to sacrifice that prize card, so that's actually not a good thing. But Tapu Koko V is a V card, meaning it has quite a high HP. Obviously the new Vs gets knocked out pretty easily with Mad Parties, Ball Juggling, with a lot of 1 prize card decks. So you gotta watch out for that. If you are playing a Tapu Koko V, how are you gonna charge it? Maybe a Tapu Koko Prism Star, or BDs, or a lot of turbo patches, some other way to charge it fast, because 3 energy is a lot. We don't have Thunder Mountains, we don't have Electro Powers, we don't have we do have Tapu Koko Prism Star, but that is a Prism Star card. You don't get to have more than 1 in per deck, so it's not good. And I don't think, because I think it's team up expansion, meaning it might be banned on the next standard format. So with the release of every new expansion, I think with the release of every new expansion, the range of expansions allowed in the standard format gets reduced. So I'm not sure if it gets reduced or it gets altered, but usually with the release of new expansions, less and less are allowed in the standard format. So that's all. Well, usually not less and less, but they always make sure that there is at least like 5 or 8 or 10, I'm not sure, maybe 8 expansions allowed. But I think the last one was a lot of cut, I think, because the last expansion that was allowed on the previous standard format was Ultra Prism. So Ultra Prism was still allowed, and any expansion from Ultra Prism onwards was still allowed on the last standard format. And then the new standard format, they cut it off from Team Up expansion. So any expansions below Team Up, any older expansions from then, is not allowed in the standard format anymore. And that is a huge cut in my opinion, because that is from Team Up to Ultra Prism, there is a lot of expansion in between. So that is a lot of cuts in my opinion. So I think so. Let's just check real quick between Team Up and so Team Up is over here and Ultra Prism is over here. So we got Lost Thunder, Dragon Majesty, Celestial Stones, Forbidden Light, and Ultra Prism. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 expansions terminated from the standard format with the release of only a few what do you call that, Sword and Shield expansions. I think it was the first Sword and Shield, or maybe Darkness Ablaze or Rebel Clash, where they decided to cut it off up to only Team Up. So they cut off all expansions except for Team Up and made only only Team Up and onwards are allowed in the standard format. So that is a huge cut in my opinion, because I really like those Sun and Moon cards, because Sun and Moon cards are actually very strong, good abilities, good trainer cards as well. But with the release of every new expansion, they always reintroduce old cards as well. So battle styles, they reintroduce Escape Rope, they reintroduce Level Ball, Energy Recycler, and Experience Share. So those 4 cards, item cards, are reintroduced into the game in the standard format, because battle styles releases them. So with the release of every expansion, sometimes old cards get released as well. For example, like Rocky Helmet, can't remember any other cards, but well, Rocky Helmet is the only card that I can think of. But maybe they might reintroduce cards like Floatstone, you never know. Some good item cards or some good trainer cards. They usually reintroduce trainer cards. They recycle some abilities, Pokemon abilities as well, but they make sure it's different in terms of the type of Pokemon that uses it. For example, the Salazzle with the derisive roasting attack, that Salazzle is actually a reprint of the old Ninetales card. So Ninetales with the Burning Look ability has the Hex Flame attack, allowing you to do an extra 50 damage for each special condition affecting your opponent's active Pokemon. So it's basically the same effect as the derisive roasting Salazzle, but Salazzle obviously have another attack, and Ninetales obviously have the Burning Look ability, which is when you evolve Ninetales, you get to Lysander, one of their bench Pokemon. So it's basically sort of different, but kind of the same sort of thing. So they sometimes recycle Pokemon's attacks, recycle Pokemon's abilities, and reintroduce it into the standard format. But it's always pretty restricted for the standard format, because you're only allowed up to a certain expansion, where a lot of cards are not allowed in the standard format, is what I'm trying to say. So I kind of prefer expanded, because that way you get a lot of freedom, you have a lot of choice. You have a wide pool, a huge pool of selection, where you get to mix and match and put in a lot of combos, and match really new cards with really old cards and see how they work well, because sometimes those abilities and trainer cards work super well together, because you have never seen sometimes they release never before seen abilities and attacks, like the Power Split. The Power Split attack from Claydol is a never before seen attack. And we also have the amazing rare cards with new attacks that we have never seen before. Amazing Star, Amazing Surge, Amazing Death, you get the point. All of those cards have attacks that you've never heard of, that's never been featured before on other expansions. Like Raikou as well, you get to attack any two of your opponents' Pokemon with 120 damage. So that is never before seen. And also with the expanded format, I really like it because you get to use old cards. Old cards, their abilities are stronger. They are more solid, because they are an all-rounder ability. There is not much restrictions. Whereas with new cards, there's a lot of restrictions. You need to be in the active spot. You can only transfer from 1 to 1. You can only move 1 damage counter. You can't do much. With old cards, you can move damage counter as many as you like, as often as you like. And obviously, new cards, sometimes they introduce new things, like you get to transfer damage counter from one of your Pokemon to your opponent's Pokemon. That's never heard of. Like Shady Move, Sun and Moon, actually you get to with Ear Moves, you get to transfer 1 damage counter from your Pokemon to one of your opponent's Pokemon. XY, we have never heard of that from XY. No abilities like that in XY. But in other expansions though, you get Sun and Moon, we have the Shady Move, which is actually better than the Sword and Shield Ear Moves ability. So Sun and Moon is older than Sword and Shield, and Sun and Moon is better. That's what I'm trying to say. Sun and Moon shady moves allow you to move 1 damage counter from one Pokemon, any Pokemon in play, to another Pokemon, another Pokemon that has no restriction. So any to any, you get to move one from one of yours to one of your opponents, one from one of yours to another of your Pokemon, one from your opponent's Pokemon to another of their Pokemon. So there is no restriction. You get to transfer, you get to move between your own, you get to move between your opponent's Pokemon. So you get to do a lot of, it's very flexible. You get to do you get to move in any way, but you only get to move one though. So shady move with Bunny GX. Also with Bunny GX, you need to have Bunny GX in the active spot for you to be able to use that ability. Whereas with Chandelier, an even older card, also from Sun and Moon but from an older expansion, there is no restrictions. You don't need to place it in the active spot. But obviously it's a stage 2 and it's a non-GX, meaning it gets knocked out easily. And you know, obviously with new cards, it's better because they have higher HP, they are VMaxes, they are Vs, they are higher HP, and you know, their attacks do more damages and things like that. You know, you can't really compare in terms of HP and damage that they do, but the abilities are more the abilities and effects are more all-rounded. They are more solid in a way that you have more choices. The possibilities are wider. For example, Reuniclus from the old expansions, Reuniclus from Dragons Exalted is a very, very old card, black and white expansion. Reuniclus allows you to move move damage counters between your Pokemons in any way you like, as many times as you like. Whereas with Ominous Posture Jinx, you only get to move 1 damage counter from one of your Pokemon to another of your Pokemon in any way you like, but only 1. And then with the old Dusknoir, the old Dusknoir card allows you to move any amount of damage counters between your opponent's Pokemon, as often as you like in any way you like. Whereas the new cards, the new Grimsley has the same effect. It allows you to move only 3 damage counters between your opponent's Pokemon. So that's only 3. So you see the vast difference here. Old cards, they are more flexible, they are more powerful in terms of the effects, but the damage that they do, the HP, the number, the amount is less. The amount in a lot of terms is less, but the effect, the effect is more free. You have a lot more freedom, but the damage you do, the HP, all of the numbers, the amount is less. So it's kind of a trade-off in that sense. But I prefer old cards because old cards are freer. You have a lot of freedom, and I love freedom. Who doesn't? So that's all for this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos. We release videos every 2 to 3 days, and we are gonna make new decks from the Battle Styles cards because we got a lot of these and we got a lot of cool cards with abilities. And I'm very interested in making a lot of the decks. For example, the ball juggling, Kingdra, single strike cards, rapid strike cards, Primate. Oh my gosh, I have so much ideas. So tune in for more of our interesting decks. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a nice day, keep playing, and keep having fun with this game. Rapid strike, single strike style. See you on the next one, guys. Bye.